In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Arch Linux the easy way. I have a VM here already booted into the Arch Linux ISO, so let's jump right into it. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that we have network connection and that we have an IP so that we can connect via SSH, and this way it's going to be easier to copy and paste commands and do all the installation. To do that, we use the command IPA. And as you can see, we have an IP of 192.168.0.191. If you're installing this on a laptop and you're using Wi-Fi, you need to use the iwclt utility to be able to connect to your wireless connection. I'm going to leave the commands down in the description so that you can connect via Wi-Fi too. Okay, so now that we have an IP, we need to configure the root password so that we can connect via SSH. To do that, we're going to type passwd, enter. And it's going to prompt you for a new password. So we type the root password that we want. Okay, so let's connect via SSH now. We say yes. We put in our password. As you can see, we're back in the Arch Linux installation. Let's check our hard drives. We use lsblk. And as we can see here, I have an SDA hard drive of 100 gigs. If you already have partitions on this drive, you will see SDA1, SDA2, or something like that. And we want to clean the drive so that it's fresh. To do that, we're going to use the command wipefs -a, and we're going to give it the path to our block device, in this case SDA. So /dev/SDA, enter. If you already have partitions here, you would see the deletion of those partitions. And just be really sure that you don't have anything that you want to keep on this drive, because the moment you execute this command, it's going to completely wipe everything. Okay, so now that our drive is fresh, now we can start the Arch Linux installation. We're going to use a very handy Arch Linux installation script. To launch it, the command is archinstall. It already pre-filled some of the configuration by default, so we're just going to customize this. Okay, so for the Archinstall language, English is fine. You can change this if you want to another language. Keyboard layout, my keyboard layout is US, so I'll keep US. For the mirror region, I'm going to choose Canada because that's the closest to me. This is just where Arch is going to go fetch the packages. So if you choose something that is closer to you, it's going to go a little bit faster. Locale language, English is fine. Encoding UTF for me is fine. If you have any other language or any other encoder, you can change this here. Now let's go to our drives. So this is the part where we're going to partition our drives. So as you can see, it detected our block device /dev/SDA 100 gigs and is of a type SATA. So we're going to press spacebar to select it, and then we're going to press enter. Okay, so now our drive is selected. Now we're going to go and do the disk layout. Here I select wipe all selected drive and use the best effort default partition layout. This will create two partitions. It will create your boot partition and it will create your root partition. So very simple, very minimal. This is what we love. We choose wipe all selected drives. And here you can choose what type of file system you want to use on your drives. You can use BTRFS, ext4, XFS, whatever you prefer. I prefer using XFS, so I'm going to choose XFS. Here is asking you if you want to have an extra partition just for your home folder. I don't really use a partition for my home folder. I'd rather everything be on the root partition. So I'm going to select no. But if you wanted to have a separate home partition, you would need to say yes here. Okay, so if you want to encrypt your drive, you can go ahead, go through the encryption process, but I don't want to encrypt it. I don't really need it. So we're going to skip that one. The bootloader. I like to use Grub. So here is asking you if you want to use Grub instead of systemd boot. Grub is a very mature and already developed bootloader. So I prefer it over systemd boot. So we're going to say, yes, I would like to use Grub. Swap, yes, we're going to say true. In this case, it's going to generate a swap partition of CRAM automatically for you. Hostname, we can change this to something else, or you can leave it Arch Linux. This is just the name of your PC. In this case, just going to change it to Arch PC. And now we're going to set up the root password. So root password, you can type whatever you want. Don't worry about the password weak warning there. I'm just using a very generic password. Now we're going to create a user for this machine. So add user. This is just going to be my personal user. Also, we're going to add a password. And then it's asking you if you want to be a super user or an administrator. I'm going to say yes. This will put your user into the sudoers file so that you can execute sudo commands. If you wanted to add more users, you can add a second, a third user. I just need one, so I'm just going to confirm and exit. Profile is a very handy utility here that will allow you to already install desktop environment, whether it's GNOME, KDE, Cinnamon, or anything else that you want. For this tutorial, I wanted to do a very basic minimal installation of Arc so that we can get it installed, get it up and running, and then once we already logged into it, then we can build up our distribution from there. So I'm going to choose minimal for this tutorial. And it's just going to install the very minimal requirements of Arch Linux. Now for audio, here I'm going to choose Pipewire. Is the new one, like the new generation of it. I prefer it. So you can also use Pulse Audio, but Pipewire is my preference. Now for kernels, this is also important. If you choose the Linux kernel, you're going to be installing the latest kernel available from Arch, and you're going to be at the very bleeding edge of the kernel. So the latest updates. I like to install the Linux LTS. The Linux LTS kernel is just lagging a little bit behind the latest one, but it's more of a tried and tested kernel, and it usually gives more stability to your system. So I'm going to choose the LTS. You could also choose to install both, so you can switch between them and boot into the LTS or boot into the other one. I'm going to just choose the LTS because that's what I prefer. And then we're just going to press enter to continue. Now, additional packages. Additional packages lets you install other packages that don't come pre-installed with the very basic installation. In this case, I'm going to choose to install firewall. So my preference is firewall D. I'm also going to install Vim. Vim is my preferred text editor. I'm also going to install HTOP. It's a very handy utility. I'm going to also install OpenSSH. OpenSSH is so that you can SSH into your VM or into your machine afterwards. For now, this is all that I want to install. It's going to go ahead and validate whether those packages exist and you type them correctly. Network configuration. For network configuration, I'm going to choose Network Manager. Network Manager is very easy to use and it's very handy to configure networks quickly. And if you're going to install a desktop environment on this Arch installation, it's recommended to use it because either GNOME, KDE, or other desktop environments is going to use Network Manager in the backend for configuring the network. Now, time zone. Here you have a very long list of time zone. You can type / to search for your location. In this case, my location is very close to Toronto, so I'm going to click Toronto. Do we want to automatically time sync? Yes. This is going to connect to a default NTP server and keep your time synchronized all the time. Optional repositories, I don't really need them for now, so I'm just going to skip it for the moment. And now we're ready to install. So the only thing we need to do is press install. Enter. It's going to generate a JSON file with all our configuration that we already did. And we just press continue to install. Okay, so the installation is done. There was no errors. Now it's asking us if you want to chroot into the newly created system to configure a couple of things. So in this case, I'm going to say yes. I want to configure a couple of things before we reboot and boot into our freshly installed Arch installation. So I'm going to hit yes. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to configure here. I want to enable SSH. I want to enable my firewall, and I want to configure so that my root user is able to connect via SSH. So to do that, I'm going to use systemctl enable firewall D. I'm going to enable sshd, that is SSH command. And I'm going to open up the sshd config file. I'm going to go all the way down here to the option permit root login. I'm going to edit this. uncomment it, and then I'm going to delete all of this and select yes, I want to allow root to connect via SSH. We just save and quit. And we're ready to reboot our installation. So first thing we're going to do is exit. And as you can see, installation completed without any errors. You may now reboot. Perfect. So we're going to reboot. And let's see if the installation was successful. All right, group, bootloader, Arch Linux. That's what we want. All right. So it booted up. Now let's try to log in. Let's check if we have an IP, and we have network manager. So it's NMCLI. Perfect. So it's 192.168.0.192. So the IP changed. So let's try to connect to that one. And we're connected to our Arch Linux minimal installation. So we have an Arch Linux system up and running. And from here, this is like a very good base from where we can start building up our desktop environment if that's what we want. Or you can use this as a server, or just use this like a very small VM to have a couple of services in them. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Leave any questions or suggestions on the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next one.